Review of the Rebelle Messenger. Included is the blaster, a few messenger darts, a messenger carrier, a little pin, and a little decoder. So we'll go over the externals, show you how it works, show you it firing, and then give you my opinion. Starting with the front, it is a front-loading spring blaster, so you push in the darts like that. It holds 3 darts, firing them one at a time, and it has a smart air restrictor, so if you only have 1 dart loaded, it will only fire out of that barrel. Moving back, if you can see the little red piece here, that is a transparent screen, so you can read the little messages on your darts before you fire them. Up here is an in-strike tactical rail for optics, sights, whatever you'd like up there. Moving back, here's an iron sight. Funny enough, it doesn't have a front iron sight and you can't really use it at all. 1 point of reference is not sufficient for a blaster. You have to have 2 in order to get a center line so you know where you're shooting. This little ridge is just too high, so you can't even line it up off the tack rail. Silly design in my opinion, but you can't really aim these anyways. Moving down here is the trigger. It is a very smooth, crisp trigger, but for a Springer it's kind of hard to screw that up. Moving back, here's the handguard. It is smaller than the average grip right now, but the size overall isn't really my concern. However, the little sharp edges are kind of annoying. It's not particularly comfortable. I do think it looks pretty cool, but since your hands are all over it, you can't even see it, so I think comfort should trump the appearance of the grip. So it's not particularly comfortable. However, the draw weight of this really isn't that heavy, so you aren't pulling it into your hand too hard, so it's not that big a deal. The priming handle, to prime the blaster you just do that. It is smooth. It's a smaller hole than average, but nothing to complain about. And then down here you hold your little marker pen if you want to draw on your darts to have your coded messages or whatever. You do this and then draw on your darts, and the ink is only really easily readable when it's behind the little red screen here. And when you're done with that nonsense, you can put it back up in there to keep it for later use. So after you load your 3 darts, you pull back the priming handle here and fire. It will only fire 1 at a time, as you can see there. Without modification, there's no way to shotgun them all at the same time, but having 3 independent shots without a magazine is pretty cool. I'll show you the chrono and the firing test. 80, 72, 67, 79, duplicate 79, 72 feet per second. So as you can see, this is actually shooting hot. It's shooting harder than a lot of the blasters on the market right now by about 10 feet per second on the peak. That's not exactly the average, but it is noticeable. You can see the darts flying faster out of this muzzle and flying a little bit further than a lot of other blasters on the market right now. It's not enough to like wreck everyone in your local Nerf war, but it is enough to notice and for it to be a worthwhile purchase. And to my opinion now, overall, I'm really happy with this blaster. I was not expecting to like it at all because this grip just looks really goofy. The grip is not particularly comfortable, but I think the operation of the blaster trumps that entirely. Having 3 ready-to-go darts at an above-average velocity is very helpful, and it's sleek enough to build a duct tape holster and have it on your hip at all times as a backup. If you're not the type to run a strong arm, because right now I think that would be the best sidearm on the market right now, this is absolutely my recommendation. I'm very happy with the performance. It shoots really hard. It's overall easy to use, and really the streamlined design and the thinner profile compared to the strong arm is why I would recommend this over the strong arm for certain people in certain loadouts. If you want a thinner blaster on your hip, obviously half the rounds of a strong arm, but it is very fun. If you're looking for a standard pistol rather than like the revolver type thing, I would definitely recommend this one. So if you couldn't tell, high opinion. Hopefully I've given you the information you need to make an informed purchase. That's the review. Thanks for watching. A quick little pan of everything in case you don't care about these blasters. The Straven with an integrated rough cut. That's a Strife with a Raven shell. It's a modified blaster if you can't tell. Another mod, Raven.